In this lecture, we're gonna have a look at what is a respond webhook in n8n and why do we need it. So if we go quickly to our workflow, this is good. It is triggering. It is basically resolving the requirement that we had for this ingestion pipeline. It is ingesting the workflow. When we want to actually work on reading emails, when I ask Samantha to read my emails, it will go inside n8n, it will go inside this database, it will pull the data from database and then it will come back. Until then, Samantha needs to stay with me, talk to me about stuff, or I ask other questions. But during this so-called flight time, Samantha needs to be aware that I have triggered something and I'm expecting something to come back. This could be 500 milliseconds, this could be 5 seconds. So for that reason, we need this so-called webhook. I'm going to call this workflow email ingestion and go to the overview, click on create workflow, and explain the concept of this webhook technology in the first place. So I will create a webhook that does something, and I will, let's say if it is just doing a simple summarization. Let's just take a summarization example. I'm going to put an AI agent here. I'm going to give it a model here, OpenAI, and then I'm going to give it just a very dumb system prawn summarize the following. And what is the following? The following is coming, whatever is coming from there. In order for that to work, I'm going to run this first. Let's do that as a post because we'll use this method in a bit. So it's running. I copy this. For those of you who do not know what's a Postman, you can go to postman.com, download, install it. But if you want to catch up very quickly, just on the internet, just type Postman online. You will find a lot of alternatives to do that without installations. This one you can also use. It just does the same thing. But I'm going to continue using my Postman. I like this UI better. Okay, so I'm going to create a new tab here, change it to Postman, put this thing here, go to the body, raw JSON. And if you remember, we created this email in previous lecture, and it's sitting already on my Supabase database. So I'm going to go to my Supabase database, and in my table, and I already have at least one email in here, and this is in JSON format. So I'm going to literally copy all of that, come over here, paste it in the body of this, and then I click on send, and look what happened here. Literally, this is exactly what we're going to work on now. In 300 milliseconds, it responded back to me by saying workflow was started. So it basically triggered the workflow. If we quickly go back to our whiteboard, that's not what we want. Like when we say, hey, Samantha, read my emails, it's going to go and bring it from database. It will not be 300 milliseconds. It will be way more than that. Until then, Samantha should not receive a response. She should wait for our response. So now let's go to our workflow. Where is my workflow? Here. Now, this workflow, since it was running and I hit it from my Postman, now it received this whole payload, which is the entire email and so on and so forth. You can see that. So this is the email I have. It's gone. It's the whole payload I need. In this ChatGPT thing, I'll just blindly take the entire body, put it there. Why is it not working? It's gonna work now. Okay. But in here, it is giving me this object. That means it cannot read this. I'm going to just use a little bit of JavaScript, stringify, to convert this entire object into a string so that the LLM can understand. If I execute this node, now it will give me, after some time, it will give me that this is a JSON describes email, blah, blah, blah. Maybe I can summarize the following email, the following email from this JSON payload so that it can do it in a cleaner way. So there we go. This email is from Emil Sar and is titled da da da, and it is whatever the text is. Now, I will save this. What I see here is a good amount of value in this workflow, but when I execute it, let's actually do that in here like this. I'm going to put my Postman on this side. And I'm going to trigger my Postman, and you should see the whole execution running one more time. But what happens, this is running, and this Postman already had the response. And I don't want to see this response. I don't want to see workflow was started. I want to see the response. This is this one, because that will go to Samantha, and Samantha will speak about this particular piece. So how do I do that? It's a very, very simple logic here, and n8n. I may need to trigger this from, oh, it cannot be done less than that. Okay, that's good enough space for here. So if you go to webhook, in here you see respond immediately. This has to be changed to respond to webhook node. What does it mean? If I save this and I go out, there is a yellow thing happening. That means something is wrong here. I have to click here and then put this node called respond to webhook. And this is now the response item. Basically, this is responsible for sending something back to the webhook. So if I click it, and you can see that the first incoming item is this one, and it's sending it back this way. Now, literally with that many steps, we made this entire workflow to hold for the response to finish and then send it to the API request. So if I click this, I'll see that this is still running. It took 1.653, 1,653 milliseconds, 1.6 seconds. And the response is no more just that generic message that the execution happened, but it is an entire message that happened. In the prompt, I would like to add one more thing. Summarize the following email from this JSON payload in a way that any text-to-speech engine should be able to speak it. So therefore, don't use any markdown, no new lines, no formatting, just fluent text, and also even not quotation marks. I think the quotation marks is okay because the TTS that we will be using in this case being Deep TTS in Samantha, it's okay, but you pay attention to these lines. These should need to go away. Otherwise, your TTS, your Samantha will speak it out, and that's not a nice experience you would like to have. So there we go. Oh, it is not running. That's fine. I'll run it. And if I hit it this time, it should send me a much cleaner text which says, you have received an email from Emil Sire with the subject title, da da da. So it's much, much easier to go in this route when it is like the voice will sound way more fluent and natural if that kind of a message happens. So in this lecture, we saw how we can create a webhook, do some processing, hold the webhook not to respond, and then respond when only the process is finished. There's a lot of more into it. This is the basics, but you will get a gist of it, and then you'll figure it out by yourself and by vibe coding. See you in the next lecture.